Hurry up. You want to do this? Be my guest. But this ain't a job you want to rush. That do it? Signal's good. Arm the other detonators and pull back to me. Come on, tough guy. We gotta blow this bridge.
Halo Combat Evolved is right around the corner. Wait. Halo Anniversary is right around the. Wait, what? No. Halo Campaign Evolved? Yeah, Campaign Evolved. It's on the way, and it seems like it's getting damn near universal glaze. The Actman seems mostly positive. Mint Blitz seems upset by certain design choices 343 is making, but he's pretty okay with the new Halo coming out. Installation 00 can't say anything bad about it, and Halo Follower is singing its praises. Again, damn near universal glaze. And I'm just not going to fall for it. We've gotten to the point in Halo's long life where people are complaining about the amount of skulls in the game, or the fact that the assault rifle doesn't feel the same as it did 24 years ago, when there is very clearly foundational rot happening at 343 Studios, or I guess Halo Studios. If you as a YouTuber aren't raging at the machine over what's going on right now, you're at least coping at how lost the franchise is, and at most being disingenuous about the state of it. Why are we discussing things that are, in comparison, non-issues? It's easy to curate and tailor your own image of what exactly a Halo game should be or should have been. The people know what they want in terms of mechanics, story, characters, graphics, and so on. But the problem is that not only are we putting the cart before the horse, the people responsible for delivering us both the cart and the horse have no idea what Halo even is. And what do I mean in this instance by the cart before the horse? I'll pick a big example, not something like cosmetics not showing up in cutscenes. Halo Combat Evolved was renowned for not only its campaign, but at the same time its multiplayer. The multiplayer was revolutionary, and if you've been following Halo for literally any amount of time, you've seen the old, early 2000 videos of 20 people at one house having a LAN party. But now? After an existential identity crisis and 5 years of development, we're getting a remake of a remake, and half of one at that. We're getting no multiplayer, we're getting no firefight, and we're getting nothing that we expect from the titan of a franchise that is Halo. But Weenie, they're adding new stuff to the game. Look, they added brutes, they added new flood. And this is something that shocks me. I don't know why people insist on insisting that this is a new experience packaged into an old game. Any of the new stuff that they added is just ported over from other games, like the Flood Pure Forms from Halo 3, the Brutes from Halo 2 and 3, the SMG, the Fuel Rod Cannon, and I could go on. This is so rich. Your new Halo game is literally just a modded playthrough of a 24-year-old game. Not one thing that they've advertised in this game so far is original, besides maybe the cosmetics, which speaks volumes as to where exactly their creative effort is going to. Purchasable skins and models. 343 says that they're going to be adding 3 new missions to the campaign, and they're calling these 3 Operation Meteorite. And it's weird that they're advertising this portion of the game separately, like it's some sort of DLC. And here's what the missions involve. Set 1 year before the events of Halo Combat Evolved, Operation Meteorite follows the Master Chief and Sergeant Avery Johnson as they infiltrate a Covenant agricultural ship holding orbit over the glassed human colony of Promise in search of data that could lead to the Covenant's fabled homeworld of High Charity. Over the course of 3 action-packed missions, the heroic duo must battle Sacristan warriors, liberate UNSC Marines, and brave a series of bizarre experiments conducted under the watchful gaze of the mysterious Sanshayum Master of Harmony. So, besides the fact that our beloved franchise can only give us 3 new missions after 3 failed Halo games, the missions themselves are prequels that have to play it safe in already established territory. They don't have to try and push the story forward, they can just insert more filler and have lore tubers connect the dots later. The only thing that 343 can create is a step backwards in the Master Chief's already Lord of the Rings novel-length story. They can't let him go if their company depended on it, which it does. Because to them, Halo is Master Chief. Not the civilian evacuation ships being torn apart as they desperately flee New Alexandria. Not George sacrificing himself. Not Oni doing scorched earth and cover-up tactics. Not the insurrectionists. Just Chief. They don't even know what the series is. Just a big green guy who kills aliens. And that to me is insulting, especially after 3 games. So 343 dropped the ball with Halo 4. They dropped the ball with Halo 5, but stumbled into success with their multiplayer. They then again dropped the ball with a banger that could have been Halo Infinite. They have the formula to one of the best universes in storytelling, yet they continue to trip on their own feet and succumb to making ugly-ass skins like these. I'm expected to be hyped and get ready for them to hit it out of the park with Halo Campaign Evolved? Hell no. What an insult to the intelligence of the Halo community. We're going to give you a remake of a game that's older than the country of Serbia, and we're going to release 3 missions that are derivative and dull. You're going to keep getting hyped, you're going to keep buying our games for $70, and you're going to keep being disappointed. And you're going to do it all again 3 years from now when you're drinking your Mr. Pibb and clapping your hands like a seal when Halo 8 comes out while they dangle the same keys in front of your face. And you could cherry pick and argue that Halo 4 had a promising story, and Halo 5 and Infinite had promising multiplayers, but that's all you can really say about them at the end of the day anyways. I mean, who's really still playing those games? 343 can produce, but they never will. They swing hard, but a strike is still a strike. So what needs to be done with Halo? There needs to be a serious change in pitch for the story of the universe itself, but in order to do this, or at least identify the path forward, we need to discuss what is actually plaguing the company and in turn the series. And I shouldn't even narrow it down to just 343 and Halo itself. This is a problem that we're seeing with basically every video game series that has mainstream attention and recurring characters. When a company makes a game that is lightning in a bottle, they want to capture that lightning and replicate it. How a company chooses to do so, what determines the quality of the product. Call of Duty 4, for example, was one of the first mainstream games that was based in the modern age, featuring modern conflicts and semi-believable stories and characters. Not only was the game praised for its novelty, but also its innovation within the Call of Duty franchise. This was their key to the castle, so they made 2 more after that, continuing the story of the cast in ways that were sequentially better than their predecessors. And after MW3, it seemed like that was it for Ghost, Soap, Captain Price, Griggs, and all the other characters in the Black Ops series. And it was for a while. But after Call of Duty's golden age, they didn't know where to take the series. We got new characters that were flat, stories that were confusing, mechanics that were gimmicky and shoved in uncomfortably, and none of it was what Call of Duty actually was at its core. Sure, Call of Duty can be a futuristic shooter, but anybody can tell based on the iterations of advanced movement that we received, these mechanics were only added because of the success of other games. There was no actual love for the craft, just casting a wide net and hoping you pull in as much money as the guy next to you. When people began to tangibly hate their games, rest in peace Infinite Warfare, my beloved.
Oh, I'm hardware, sir. Ultimately expendable.
Oh no. You're my brother, Ethan.
You're talking robot, brother.
Affirmative.
Yes. Well, I have the hands of one, sir.
No doubt.
Call of Duty decided to return to its roots with a couple games that only succeeded because of the actual content drought that COD fans were experiencing and the hype preceding the games. So what did they do? Dig down and see what people liked, who people liked, and they tried to replicate that lightning in a bottle again. Reviving Ghost and Price and Soap in this new look, retelling stories in games that had literally the same names as their 20-year-old counterparts, essentially grave robbing. It worked for a time for them too. The games were genuinely good up to a point, but the characters just aren't interesting anymore. The only ones that have personality are Soap and maybe Ghost, but he's more the mask than he is the man. MW3 in 2023 was the final nail in the coffin for these characters, and now they're just mascots for the franchise. They don't do anything anymore besides exist and make money because of pure nostalgia. And doesn't this paint a familiar picture? It certainly isn't one-to-one, I'll admit. 343's arc with Halo has been a pretty linear one, and every game they've defecated out has had the Master Chief in it. But they've suffered from the same nostalgia mascot syndrome that every other mainstream series is experiencing. There's nothing new with the Master Chief anymore. His story should have been concluded with Halo 3. Halo 4 was an interesting try, but it was too risky of an attempt with the near zero loose ends Bungie left behind. The man is canonically 49 years old, and the voice actor is 75. 343 cannot keep this up forever. Master Chief just needs to die. He needed to have his twilight years ago, with his fate still unknown. The series desperately needed another ODST or Reach. Let's talk about what Halo could have been. You guys remember Halo 5? Remember when the Master Chief was supposed to be hunted down by basically the equivalent of Noble Six to be killed? The advertising made it seem like there was something rich and beautiful happening with the story, but when the game came out, we got a game that was good to those who read the comics, but for the other 95% of the player base, a 10-hour-long exposition dump that had nothing to do with the advertising. So we were just straight up lied to. So what's the significance of the advertising? Why were people so hyped? Imagine a planet, or a portion of the Halo universe that hates Master Chief. Imagine playing the game as a normal, non-genetically modified character and seeing artwork of the Master Chief being graffitied, or statues of the savior of humanity being torn down like he's Saddam Hussein. A society or a world that hates him for many reasons. The Halo universe is much bigger than just the places we explore in the game. Did you know that there were insurrectionist rebels who hated the UNSC? What if during the First Covenant War, the UNSC abandoned known insurrectionist planets or territories, letting the Covenant snuff them out instead of teaming up with them and fighting them off? What if a colony survived a Covenant glassing? And after the war ended, the UNSC shows up to assist in rebuilding human colonies. Things are uneasy, but go fine until the UNSC starts putting statues up of the Master Chief. Posters everywhere telling the neglected and war-torn people who never received any help from the Chief to love and cherish the hero of this colony. They never met the Master Chief. They never got any help from the UNSC. They were left to die, and now they're supposed to be grateful of this random figure? The Spartans were originally designed to kill insurrectionists. What could they possibly be thankful for? What did Master Chief do for them? And like that, I created the foundation of a game that is far more interesting and human than whatever the hell 343 is putting out. It took me 10 minutes to just write that, and it takes 343 5 years to remake a remake. Is there a solution? Not any palatable one, not a likely one for us, and not one that 343 is capable of producing correctly. And I'm not even going to give you the satisfaction of a glimmer of hope for this franchise. I'm going to be genuine and give my opinion instead of just hand-waving and hoping like all those other YouTubers. 343 is a sinking ship, and if you're still on it, be ready to succumb to the waves, because there's nothing that the company can do to pull the universe out of the pit that they've dug. Greed and creative bankruptcy are the roots of this evil. And what, we're going to tell everyone around the world, don't buy this game, guys. They'll get it right if we boycott Halo. They already had their chance. The Titanic is already on her last voyage, and we need to set our sights elsewhere already. Stop misleading people and saying things like Halo is back, when you're only proving that the only thing that gets you excited is Bungie's old work, Bungie's creativity. If you've given me your attention throughout this video, I'd like to thank you for it. Any of the YouTubers that I called out or mentioned, I'm not trying to beef with. I've been playing Halo since I was 5, and it was one of the first games I ever played, like most kids in my generation. So it means a lot to me to see my childhood heroes fade away and become something less. I'm pretty passionate about this, if you couldn't tell. Also, you might be noticing that this is uncharacteristic of me in terms of content, and you'd be somewhat right. I want to make it clear early that I'm not a Tarkov YouTuber. I enjoy other things and play other games. I have other videos on the way that aren't Tarkov, but that doesn't mean that there won't be any more Tarkov videos. I have one in the works that might be entertaining. No release date, though, so I wouldn't hold your breath. Just a heads up. Thanks, though.
Okay, bye.